What's up, everyone? It's Scotty with MoneyVest. So we are done for the week, and I cannot wait to go to bed because it's been a long week here with employment, and it's about to get even busier with earnings season just getting started. So this week ended up investing close to 21,000 in the market. All the alerts were sent out in the Discord. We also had a very nice swing trade on TQQs. It's a leverage ETF. I ended up closing out for a nice 5% gain. I'm going to go over that in this video as well, and also talk a little bit about what we can expect from the markets going into next week, considering that we are entering the earnings season, and next week's also going to be packed with inflation data that's coming out. Both the CPI and the PPI numbers are going to be scheduled to come out as well. So we got lots to unpack in this video. Hope you guys are ready, and make sure that you drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That's all I'm asking from you guys, is that you drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and link to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below if you're interested in joining and, of course, getting access to all the alerts. So these are all the alerts that I sent out from October 2nd, so literally earlier this week. Added a lot of shares, and this right here was a TQQQ profit closing in at just over $410 for the last like 2 to 3 days. I'm happy with it, 4.5%, and it's a leverage ETF. If it were regular QQQs, I would have held in for a little bit longer, because I do believe there's maybe more upside kind of leading up to inflation numbers next week, which I'll go over in this video. But since it was levered, I'm happy with it. And also with the Patreon right now, members who do join up until December of 2023, so before end of this year, you do also get early access to the MoneyVest Pro platform, which we are going to be launching in 2024. So I'm super excited to share this with all of you, and everybody who's going to be part of the Discord and part of the Patreon. You will have an early access to our MoneyVest Pro platform, and I don't want to share too much, but it is going to be one of the best platforms you'll ever have for almost everything when it comes to stock analysis, portfolio tracking, everything. So it's going to have everything that we have on our spreadsheets and models and different things. It's going to be online. So all in one platform, so you can get early access to that if you join. And of course, not to mention, you'll have access to the MoneyVest stock reports, which we are going to be starting this weekend. Excel spreadsheets, and of course, members only private videos. And like I said, Excel spreadsheets also included. So links going to be down below if you want to join and be a part of our MoneyVest community. So NASDAQ here pushing up over 1.6, 1.7%, so very strong gain on the day. S&P 500 up 1.2%. The Dow Jones up over 92 basis points. This was despite a very strong jobs report. So we got unemployment numbers coming in at 3.8% or 3.7, and then of course we got the unemployed persons staying steady at 6.3 million, and the number of jobs added 366,000, right? So pretty substantial number. Ideally, that should have certainly sparked a bit of a sell-off, and we did see that take place pre-market. We were live, of course. We had a very long live stream today, and unemployment numbers, obviously did, show signs of very, very strong and strengthening economy with respect to the jobs market, and we did see that sell-off. And then intraday, that was a massive reversal, right? Not only did we recover all the losses from the pre-market, but we also did rally quite a bit. So, if you come over to the NASDAQ's chart, I mean, it is nothing but an incredible reversal on the day. So if I remove everything here, and all we're going to focus on is the 5-minute chart, this right here was the gap down when we opened up at around 9:30, and we saw a rally of over 2.5%. That is a very, very strong momentum on the NASDAQ, and S&P 500 also fully reversed from like 10 a.m. till where we closed a little bit over 2%. That was a rally of over 90 points, or close to 90 points. In the Dow Jones, the reversal was also insane, coming in since 32,850, ended up rallying over 550 points intraday. That's a massive, massive move to the upside for the indices. Now, the numbers, only $3 billion, folks. If you want to be in the 400 richest people in the United States, you only need $3 billion. The dream is finally within your reach. Okay? This is just, I saw this headline and I wanted to bring this up. I was like, you know what? I'm going to talk to you guys about this. The dream is within your reach. It's only $3 billion to be the 400 richest people in America. Of course, I say this sarcastically, but I just wanted to mention this. And one more thing to kind of put us in the right mindset when it comes to just investing and, of course, spending, not only just money, but there was another headline that kind of, resonated with me very much, because I'm working on the psychology course right now, psychology of investing and money, and, all these different things. And we're going to be, packaging that. And of course, we'll be launching it later this month. This right here was another article that kind of caught my attention that I wanted to talk about. And it's off topic. It's not, related very much to market, but that's what we're here on this channel all about, right? It's not just going to be about the market. It's not just going to be the stock market and trading and fundamental and technical analysis and investing, but I'm also going to bring to you guys, educational stuff, videos and topics and stuff that I do believe that's going to help you live a more fulfilling life. And of course, teach you things that I've learned over the years by making mistakes and learning in books and reading and whatnot. So the number one key to a happier, longer life that younger people don't know, according to the oldest and wisest Americans, it's spending your time more wisely. And this is actually one of the first lessons I go over in the Psychology of Investing course, is that time is finite, right? All of us have limited time on this planet. So how you spend it is probably the most important decision you make, okay? The way I have it in my mind is that I do value both time and money. So they're both very valuable to me. But when it comes to spending, I do spend my time a lot more consciously than I spend my money, right? So yes, I'm frugal. Yes, I like to spend less and only spend on necessities and don't really want to have this, splurging on anything. But when it comes to time and money, I would always value time slightly more than I value my money, because money comes and goes. We all know that. Time, once it's lost, it's never coming back. So always remember to spend it wisely and understand that it's finite. You can't have it back. So the people that you spend your time with, the activities you spend your time on, just do it, in a very, very wise manner. Be smart about it. So something I wanted to go over that definitely is important. So Tesla cuts Model 3 and Model Y prices in the US after car deliveries fall. So this was another catalyst. Tesla did drop pre-market after this news came out, a little bit over 2%, but of course recovering almost all the gains, all the losses, and actually turning green on the day. And Dow surges over 300 points. This right here is the entire market. Very, very strong momentum back up. So Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, all of these pushing higher. This is the entire heat map. So all sectors, all stocks pushing higher, except for consumer defensives, slightly lower. We talked about it in yesterday's video. And over the last 1 week, we got comm services, technology leading the way. Very strong momentum back up. And over the last 1 month, pretty much everything is red except for comm services that's slightly pushing higher. Natural gas, silver, platinum, sugar, copper prices, everything pushing up, with corn, soybean meal, wheat, oats, and volatility pulling back down, with Bitcoin just a little bit under 28,000 and Ether here just over 1650 as well. And these right here were the numbers, not 366,000, but 336,000. So I take that back. 336 was that number. 3.8% was the unemployment rate. So very, very strong numbers, of course, coming in. And even though the markets rallied. Now, my expectation, or basically my assumption as to why the market saw such a massive reversal, was purely technical. For the most part, it was technical. Maybe some people will try to tag along a macro analysis or a fundamental analysis to this rally, but I think it was purely technical considering how oversold we were for the market. So if you come over to some of the other charts that I showed you guys in our previous videos, like for example this one, right? So S&P 500 stocks trading below their 50-day moving average, we were at one point over 93%, right? So we had a lot of stocks trading below 93%, to be precise, trading below their 50-day moving average. If you come over to this chart, same exact thing, right? We were literally trading at 6% just a few days ago. 6%. That means 94% of stocks were trading below their 20-day moving average. So it is no doubt the technicals were lining up for a potential reversal and a rebound. That's exactly one of the reasons why I took a levered position on TQQs for that swing trade. Now we're starting to move back higher. It's not going to be surprising if we do see the S&P and the NASDAQ kind of retrace back up to their lower highs. So if you come over to the daily chart, this is where we are. We're kind of bouncing off of that 200 simple moving average. That's also something that we mentioned in our yesterday's and previous market updates, that we are coming up down to a very, very nice moving average. And this is the overall downtrending channel of lower highs and lower lows. And right now the S&P is coming back up to 4,300, 4,325. So this is a resistance where even on the day, you'll notice that we got rejected a little bit at 4,324, started to sell right back down. But of course, if you do see a breakout above this level, then the next target is going to be all the way up to 4,500. Now, 4,500 for SPX is very, very important, because that's really going to break out of this downtrending channel, and that's when it's going to be invalidated, right? So right now, this is the potential way up that we're making. We're coming back up to that lower high to retest that lower high at 4,500. That's going to be inside here. That's not only the lower high, but also a potential horizontal resistance. So that's the level to watch. And, oftentimes we look at these rallies, we look at these green days, and we think to ourselves like, yep, market's going back up to all-time highs. Yep, we're back up to this bull market, or yep, we're basically going back up. So, but we have to understand that we're still very much in the context of a downtrend, right? Patterns evolve over time. One day one week doesn't make a trend, right? It happens over time. Think about it for a second, right? Who would have thought that back in July, that would be the most recent high? And since then, we have been down a little bit over 8 to 10%. Who would have thought, right? But because these patterns take weeks, months, even sometimes years to develop and evolve. So to think that, we're back up from this one green day, we're back up to, 46, 4,700 or back up to all-time highs would be very short-sighted. Right? We have to look at the bigger picture, and the bigger picture is that we're still in the context of this downtrend, right? We haven't broken out yet. The moment it breaks out of this resistance, then yeah, by all means, we're invalidating that pattern. We're potentially making our way back up, and we're breaking out of that resistance, so that's good. But we're not there yet. So we got to take step by step, right? As I've said before, trading is very much reactionary and not predictive, right? You're not trying to predict what's going to happen. You're trying to react to what's already happened. And that's what's the difference between, being successful versus not, because you have to always analyze the risk and reward and be able to adapt to what's already happened, not trying to predict what's going to happen, because nobody's going to be able to do, that consistently over time. You might be right once, twice, 3 times, but over long time periods, you certainly are not going to be predicting every single move. So that being said, 4,500, very, very important level to watch. NASDAQ, same thing. Support level is going to be at 13,150. Again, we're still very much in the context of this downtrend a little bit. We didn't quite come down to our 200 SMA, but that was the next level in case we continue to see that accelerated sell-off. But 12,200 was going to be that next level, and resistance right now is going to stay put at 14,000. So 14,000 to as much as 14,150. So this right here is going to be that range within which we need to kind of watch NASDAQ here moving forward. Next one on the list is going to be Apple. And Apple here on the day, very nice move to the upside, getting back up to its 50 simple moving average and its resistance at 179, close to $180. So this right here is going to be that level. Still very much in the context of this downtrend. So again, want to be very clear that, these patterns take time to develop. And, just like what we have seen here before, right? I mean, we were very much, who would have thought that this right here would have been a 1-year downtrend for Apple, right? It took us 1 year from high to low to get down to that level. Of course, since then, Apple has hit a new all-time high, but it indeed took us 1 year to get from high to low. So these patterns do take time. You have to be patient. You have to allow for them to develop and evolve over time. So right now, that next resistance at 179, close to $180. Talking about Amazon here, Amazon also pushing higher very nicely, but still within the context of this downtrend. So, we've got this as a gap that Amazon might come up to fill in eventually, and we've got this lower high sitting right over there. And of course, support level is going to stay roughly at 124, 125 for Amazon. Talking about Tesla here also pushing higher. I feel like this is going to be a pretty important break it or make it moment for Tesla. I'll actually do a more dedicated video on this company later today because right now it's coming up to its lower high. And it's also validated its higher low. So, I mean, this is like this, it's converging, it's coiling in, and a much bigger move, I think, is on the horizon for Tesla right now. And if it does break out above this resistance, we're going to be watching, of course, 280s all the way up to 300s for this company, but a very nice move back to the upside, back over 260. But it's been hovering around these levels for quite some time, and right now getting validated at that higher low, but also getting rejected at this lower high. So we've got, a very, very important level right now to watch. So I'll do a more dedicated, more separate video on Tesla. NVIDIA here, on the other hand, starting to break out of its downtrend, not really downtrend, but a lower high. So this right here, back over its 50 SMA. This is invalidated now. Next resistance target is going to be back up to close to about $485 to $500 per share. So inside this red rectangle, that's the one to watch for an NVIDIA, and support level is going to stay put at $400. So what we have really witnessed for NVIDIA right now so far is just a lot of consolidation sideways with a resistance sitting right here, support sitting right over here, and it's been trading in between that range for quite some time. Advanced Micro Devices, what a move, what a solid move here. So it was in this downtrending channel for quite some time, and it's now starting to show signs of a huge breakout. 4.2% back higher, $107. And this right here would be the next resistance to watch for AMD, sitting at 111 to 112. Previously, we've gone rejected there not once, but twice. And that would be the next resistance. Support level obviously stays put in the low 100s for Advanced Micro Devices. Talking a little bit about Meta. And Meta here also with a very nice breakout past $310 per share. So you can see that we were struggling at that level. We were consolidating sideways for some time, and we had a very nice volume breakout. Actually, volume was slightly higher, 21.5 million shares traded versus 20 million. That's the average 10-day volume. So pretty decent breakout, and the next target resistance is going to be at 325, and that's the more recent high from back in August for Meta Platforms. Talking about Netflix and Netflix here, we're going to come back to Netflix. We're just going to run through these charts here first. Google here also with a very nice move to the upside, up over 2%. And next resistance is going to be at 139, close to $140. So very, very nice move to the upside. Support level is going to stay put at $126 per share. And of course, a lot of consolidation for Google. And that next level is going to be closer to $144 per share for this company in case we get a breakout over 139. Microsoft here, on the other hand, also massive gain, 2.5%, getting up to that lower high. So it's really going to come down to this lower high, whether we get a breakout or a rejection. I think a lot of stocks are coming up to their lower highs. Apple is, AMD is. AMD, in fact, got a bit of a breakout. Meta broke out. Microsoft's coming up to that resistance. Google was in an uptrend, then broke down, validated that support's now on its way back up. Tesla coming up to its lower high. So there's a lot of shifting and kind of coming up to its resistance and lower highs for big tech right now. So over the weekend, I'll also do like a more detailed technical analysis, the big tech technical analysis that you guys seem to love, and we'll talk about that in more detail. But right now, Microsoft, that lower high, that's where we are at the moment. And finally, going over to Shopify here. And Shopify also moving up 2.8%. So this is a gap that eventually may need to fill. Right now, it's acting as a very strong support, similar to what we have witnessed back in August. And resistance is going to be at $54, $55. And we've also got Enphase. I did add a little bit more Enphase today, up over 2.7%. Continues to validate at this lower high. Bullish divergence continues to form. Resistance is going to be at 128, close to $129. And all the way up to 151 is going to be that next level to watch. PayPal. We haven't gone over PayPal. Hit a new 52-week low, 55.86, but getting bought up, so 0.5% in the green. Looks really, really weak. Like, I'm going to be honest. Like, PayPal looks really weak. I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the low 50s here very soon, just considering how much technical weakness there's been for PayPal. But, of course, earnings are coming up 1st November, so we'll find out, that's going to be the first conference call with the new CEO, with the earnings, revenue, earnings, cash flows. I think everything's pretty much good, but the sentiment and the stock price continues to be really, really poor. So, of course, time will tell eventually if this is going to have any value or if it's going to be dead money for some time. Square, on the other hand, also moving higher. So Square was incredibly oversold. We're back over that resistance of $42, $43. So that's pretty good. We're going to turn this level back into a support. And the next resistance target is going to be at $50 to $51 per share for Square. And finally, we got Netflix here. Netflix also started to move back higher, 2.3%. So this right here inside this green rectangle was a support that we were talking about in one of our previous videos. So very nice move back up, and resistance is going to stay put close to $400 for Netflix. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it helpful. Don't forget, lots of benefits and lots of other reports and Excel spreadsheets and members only private videos available for you to access through our Patreon and Discord. Link's going to be down below. As always, happy investing. Have a great weekend. I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.